Hey everybody, I'm Robbie Billups.
I'm Jonathan Strickland.
And you're watching The Deep's Flashback.
What's up? I'm bringing it back, man.
Thanks for coming back and joining us for our second episode of The Deep's Flashback. Flash this week was called The Fastest Man Alive, and he sure is. It's also the fastest show alive. I absolutely loved episode 2. I thought it was Flash-tastic, if you will, and if this is going to be the typical MO of this show, if this is how an episode goes, I'm stoked. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, sophomore episode was excellent. Lived up to the hype. Loved everything about it once again.
And what about that opening? Starts off, burning building, Flash is just going. Like, we're going here. My name is Barry Allen, fastest man alive. You all know that. Let's get to the good parts.
Yeah, it's still surreal seeing him in the suit and running around, and I'm still blown away by just how, like, the CGI of it for a television show, that's excellent.
Great.
Yeah.
It looks great. I was so worried about how the Flash was going to look, and he looks fantastic. Flash-tastic, as I said. It's just really cool. I like the little things. He's still new to his power, so he overshoots his target by like 5 or 6 blocks. Yeah. He's always late. That's something very typical of Barry Allen.
Barry Allen
he gets the headaches. He's got his metabolism. He has to eat and consume a lot of food, a lot of junk food. Yeah. That's something Barry Allen likes to do. I thought the opening was great. The way that they show his powers, what he can do when he whisks people out of that burning building. I thought it's great. And to be honest, they're barely scratching the surface of what his powers can actually do.
Yeah, they really are. When you see him on the treadmill running, I forget what it is, like 700 miles per hour, I kept thinking, dude, they have barely scratched the surface of what Barry can do as the Flash.
Absolutely.
I mean, he can vibrate through walls, he can time travel. I don't even know if they're going to touch on that, but I hope they do.
Yeah, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He can do a whole lot more than just run fast, yeah. and they're really going to show that coming up soon. I thought the episode was both action-packed and very character-driven. Mm-hmm. And I love the shows that are character-driven because, yeah, seeing Flash speed through and do all that stuff is really, really cool, but unless you got the characters there to back it up, you're going to fall flat every time. Joe West. I think that this is definitely Detective Joe West's episode. I mean, the Barry stuff was great. We got the origin out of the way, and the case was really cool. But Joe West, man, the surrogate father aspect, the fact that he wants to protect Barry, and the reason, I mean, and because he wants to protect Barry, he's actually causing Barry to doubt himself. That whole arc, the whole thing of the flashbacks when Barry's a kid, you're not my dad, and I absolutely loved it, man. What did you think about Joe West?
When you look at the whole relationship of them, the race factor actually does play in because Joe is black and Barry is white, so I think I really like the interracial part of it. The fact that it didn't matter his color, like
yeah,
he loved them regardless.
It doesn't matter.
He
if
raised them
yeah.
for who he was. He, like Barry says, you taught me how to do homework. You were there for me. You taught me how to drive a car. You took me to my first day at college, dude. You're my dad. I don't care what you say.
I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. And yeah, it doesn't matter if if they're of different races. It doesn't even matter that Barry's not his son.
Yeah.
It makes the fact that he likes Iris a little creepy.
It does.
Just a slight bit. But I just Jesse L. Martin playing Joe West. Like, I mean, I think he might be the best actor on the show right now. Like, he's just, I was blown away. Like, yeah. I'll be honest. I really liked it. I really liked the story between the two of them. I really like how it ended. That Joe's now going to help Barry figure out what happened to his mother, free his dad. And
yeah.
I thought it was great. I love the parallel between the flashback and the current story with the two of them. The villain was Danton Black, Multiplex. Very well-known comic book villain.
Yep.
Not really. He was a Firestorm villain. First appeared Firestorm #1, 1978. I thought Multiplex was cool. I thought it looked great. I thought the big fight that they had at the end was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he looked really good. For, like I said, the CGI with it looked great. And the fight scenes where he faces Barry were awesome, dude. Like, they reminded me of Matrix Reloaded when Neo's facing Agent Smith and all the bodies are... Yeah, he's flipping around. And that CGI was kind of terrible, so it was cool to see it like this. Like, it was done justice. It looked really, really good.
Yeah, not a well-known villain. Second episode, I was like, oh, what are they going to give us? And they give us Multiplex, and you're like, who is that? But, dude, it just looked great. And I liked how Barry doubted his powers because he kind of got spanked by him at first. Right. And when he comes back and when he goes through the entire crowd of multiplexes and he comes up and he looks down and they're all on the ground and he's just like, yeah, I can finally do this, because when Joe gives him that pep talk, you know, that really unleashes him, and the Flash is just going to keep getting better and better as a hero and with his powers. They also introduced Simon Stagg in this episode. He's the CEO of Stagg Enterprises. And what's interesting about him, even though they killed him, you know, whatever, but he first appeared in Brave and the Bold, number 57, from 1965. He was the guy who's basically responsible for Metamorpho. So that's kind of interesting to know in the comic books. So, I don't know, they killed him, so it's not going too far.
I really liked Stagg. I really liked Multiplex. And I was a little bummed, spoilers, if you're watching this, that they both got killed off.
Pretty much.
First episode they were in, and I thought they were pretty cool.
I really liked it. Alright, a little bit more clues about the big bad of this season, the Reverse Flash. They revealed, or there were some shots that were taken of the Reverse Flash in action from an upcoming episode.
They got leaked online.
Yeah, it got leaked online. The costume, I think, looks great. I love the yellow going into the black. Love it a lot. I think it's great.
Yeah, the yellow into the black, the whole outfit looks legit. And we've had some theories on who we actually think the Reverse Flash is. Who do you think it is?
I think it's one of two characters on the show. I think it's either Eddie Thawne or Harrison Wells. Obviously, something's going on with Harrison Wells, because at the end of every episode, he's got to stand up and do something, you know, evil. Right. Right?
I think my theory, too, on it is, what if Harrison Wells is Eddie from the future? Now,
that's something that's very interesting, because if you know anything about the Reverse Flash in the comics, you know that there's a bunch of different versions of him. So there could be more than one Reverse Flash. Some Reverse Flashes come from the future, and they come back in time and try to stop Barry, or even try to make Barry better. And it's really interesting. But yeah, what if it's the same guy? I mean, that's a possibility. A lot of people,
I have no clue, dude.
We're thinking that Harrison could be Barry from the future.
Yeah.
But what if he's Thawne from the future? Just dyed his hair.
Yeah.
Eddie Thawne, that one little scene where, you know, Barry walks and they walk in and they're trying, him and Iris are trying not to be into each other. And Barry's like, go ahead and kiss. And he looks at Barry and he says, yeah, well, you know what it's like, how hard it is to keep a big secret. So, is it Eddie Thawne? Is it Harrison Wells? What do you think?
Are they one and the same?
Ooh, they could possibly be.
More than meets the eye.
But Barry's already talking about when he was a kid, the Man in Lightning killed his mother.
Yeah.
So, I think it's great. And at the very end of the episode, when Harrison does his big villainous thing, he says, yes, he is. No, he's called the Flash, or at least he will be. So he's from the future, and he definitely at least has information.
Yeah, you know something, bro.
From the future. Iris, this episode, didn't have too much to do.
No.
You know, but they did introduce the idea that she's going to become obsessed with the Red Streak, who of course is the Flash.
She's really into the Red Streak. She's developing that love for the hero, so they're definitely going to play off that for sure.
Absolutely, and I think it will help go along with the character in journalism, and you know, show that she actually is going to become a journalist. Because in the episode, she says she doesn't really like it. So, we'll see.
And Barry made her take the journalism class.
Yeah.
You like that?
I thought that was interesting, and that's the reason why she probably will eventually find out who he is or get involved in it, and Detective West is not going to be cool with his daughter being put in danger like that. Of course, Barry can't do much about that, can he? I really like the science team. Cisco and Caitlin, once again, really cool. Great as Team Flash, just the way Felicity and Diggle are for Team Arrow. I think it's really, really... really cool. Cisco's obviously the fanboy of the show. Oh, yeah. He's going to start naming the supervillains. Captain Clone. That's a nod to episode 4. We'll see Captain Cold finally. That's going to be cool. I also like that he built that treadmill for Barry.
Yeah.
That's a great scene where he gets knocked back. That's funny. It's still funny. It's still an action-packed, funny show. Very character-driven. Really well. But that could eventually maybe become the Cosmic Treadmill. And if you know anything about the Flash and the Cosmic Treadmill, it's a big deal and involves time travel. One more thing I really want to get to is the Flash. His favorite pizza is pepperoni, olives, and jalapenos. Well, that's one of my personal favorite pizzas. So call your local pizza guy and order a Flash special, right? So overall, I liked episode 2. You know, you get the sophomoric blues. Didn't happen with the Flash.
No, it did not.
Sped right ahead. I think it's great. I'm really looking forward to more Flash.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man. We got the Mist next episode.
Yeah, we got the Mist next episode, a Starman villain from back in the day. We also finally meet, possibly in a flashback, Ronnie Raymond, the fiance of Caitlin Snow.
Yeah, they referenced him this episode.
Yeah, Firestorm. So that's going to be really neat. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know Jonathan is.
Dude.
And we're looking forward to being here next week to talk about The Mist and the next episode. So we'll flashback then.
Feel like the Flash, better yet I'm Barry Allen. Can't rewind time without messing up the balance. Told my girl I don't think I really got the talent. She said go chase your dreams and see what God allows to happen.